Welcome to the Come Join the High Life podcast, home of the hustlers, the innovators, the gifted, and the honorable, where we stay high on love, high on impact, high on faith, and high on energy. So if that sounds like you or what you represent, you're definitely in the right place. Welcome to the Come Join the High Life podcast. What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy, Mr. High Life Films.
And it's your lady, Tramika.
And we are here on another episode of the Come Join the High Life podcast. Hope everyone is having an amazing start to your day, end of your day. Whenever you listening to this podcast, hope it's going good for you. So, how you doing today, partner?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
I feel like I've been on 75 hard for 19 days.
Ooh, 19 whole days. Oh my God. It's been a journey, y'all. It's been a journey.
Them knees is kneeing right now, y'all. But we're gonna make it. We're gonna get through it. It's definitely been a good little journey, and I can see the results as already.
Yeah.
This is our second time doing it, so I'm definitely seeing the results.
And the best thing about 75 hard is whenever you soar, whenever you get hurt, you still have to go and your body heals itself. So that's one of the things that I love about 75 hard because it keeps you consistent.
Definitely,
for sure.
Definitely. So with that being said, when it comes to, we talk about 75 hard, we talk about, getting our health together. But one thing about it, y'all hear me say this all the time, put some respect on your mind, right? So today, I thought, why not hit up one of my friends that we always have some good mindset conversations, we always pointing into each other, giving each other ideas. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna share my friend with y'all today. So today I have a really good friend of mine, Kalia Bell. What's going on, girl?
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. It's amazing. You guys are great. So I'm glad to be here.
Long overdue. We don't have
long overdue.
I think she done called me out a couple of times. Like, I don't feel that.
I did.
Get on your.
I did. I filled out the form. I'm jumping through hoops. Get me on here to talk to y'all.
I love that, by the way, too. That's dope.
Thank you. So my husband and I, we have an apparel line, and this is one of our samples, but we are going to bring it into production. It's quality over quantity, and another one is purpose over popularity. Two things that we live by.
Love it.
That fire off real.
Yes.
We'll get into the conversation. Tell everyone, all our listeners, who you are and what you do.
So my name is Kalia Bell. I am the host of Perfect Imperfections with Kalia Bell. That is the podcast. And I am also a manager. I manage my husband, who is Kevin Bell. He has a platform where he is using his platform to speak to athletes and everything sports and everything culture within our community of Black male. I don't want to just say male because it is some female athletes that have joined his show, but just a place where it's like old school, the lunchroom, where how back in high school we used to have those debates and the conversations. And these are real fans of sports, real sports fans, fanatics. Let me say fanatics. So I manage him, and we're just out here just trying to get our story heard and promote in our community, just to show, once you start working on yourself, you can live a better life. You can live the life that you want to live. And we're just using our story as example. So I'm really excited to see what God is doing for us.
I love it. Yes. And so please, tell us, why is it so important to work on yourself? Why is it so important to have these conversations?
It's for me, it started because, so I got to the place that I am today. I was diagnosed with depression, and I suffer with anxiety and low self-esteem. And it was one of those things where, being in therapy for many, many years, knowing it, recognizing my triggers, and knowing how to, combat them. But when you really think about depression, anxiety, those type of things, it can affect your health. Just like I don't think that high blood pressure and sugar diabetes are just based on the food that we eat. It has a lot to do with the stress and the anxiety and the depression that we, as a people in our community, we're putting on ourselves. So it's extremely important to take care of our minds, our bodies, our souls, so that we can not only be a good steward to ourselves, but to our children, to our children's children, to your children, to our community. So it's a correlation of how we treat ourselves. It shows up in how we treat our community, and that's basically what we're pumping and pressing and trying to get out there.
Yeah, yeah. I like the message.
Not trying. Excuse me. Not trying. Excuse me. I caught it.
What we doing.
What we're doing.
I can tell she one of my friends because that's how we get down. That's how we get down. So the name of your podcast is My Perfected Imperfections, and you just talked about, going through depression and anxiety and stuff like that. How important is it to at first off label your imperfections, and then second of all, how do I want to say it? Embrace them and enhance them.
So when you think of the way that you asked that question, it made me think of sobriety. And the first step is acceptance. You can't know what you don't know. You can't, and I always say, you can't fix something that you don't know that is broken. So you have to, fix it. Now, I'm not saying to wear the title of I'm depressed and I'm anxious, that type of thing, but just understand that this feeling that I'm feeling, because depression is not just sadness. Depression is life altering. Unfortunately, there are many people that die by death by suicide, and it's a chemical thing. It affects your body, but you have to know. So you have to know that this is depression. You have to know that this is anxiety, and then now, okay, I know what this is. What can I do to fix it? What can I do to stop it? How do I stop it? How do I fix it? How can I make this better? Or how can I use this? Like, I'm now using my depression and anxiety as a tool for my business, as a stepping stone for my business, because I had to go through that so I can let someone else know, I was a depressed wife. I was an anxious mom, but this is what I've done, and this is how you get over that. So you have to know in order for you to fix it. And then once you know, then you can find what's best for the tools that's needed for you to fix it, how you need to fix it. So you have to know.
I love it because, some people, they don't know that they struggle with depression, that, or even anxiety, that they're stressing.
Right.
They're just moving through the day-to-day life. And your decisions, if you're depressed, if you're struggling with anxiety, your decision making is sometimes is not on point, right? We make decisions
quite often.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That affects everything, around you. So, to your point of what you were saying. So do you also, and I believe this, and I think I'm going to answer the question, but I would love, your take on it as well. Self-love, how does that play a huge part? Because it does. You have to, love yourself in order to, you have to have self-awareness and build that relationship with yourself in order for you to start really, curing that anxiety and that depression.
That is the biggest tool, because every day, here's the thing, I say that I'm healed, but understanding that life is a day by day by day, second by second, moment by moment journey. Anything can trigger, triggers don't go away. It's just, how to compartmentalize and handle them differently. But it all stems from how you feel about yourself. So I remind myself daily, I love me enough that I don't want to feel this way. I love me enough that I don't want to do that. I love me enough that I don't want to choose that. So it really started from falling in love with me. That's where it started from. And that's how I was able to overcome it. So that really is the basis of everything, because once you really, 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 truly love yourself, and I don't mean look in the mirror and say, I look good, and and I'm talking about love yourself the way that you love your children, where you sacrifice and do anything and make sure that you are good just the way that we do for our children and our spouses, then it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference.
Yes, and that comes with setting standards, setting boundaries, having non-negotiables. All of these things are also important.
Also, for me, the biggest thing was watching how I spoke about myself. So, you know, the words that I use towards myself, you know, I was fat and I was lazy and I was this and I was that. And those kind of words, I wouldn't say those things to a stranger. I wouldn't say that to my worst enemy. But I'm saying, oh, Kalia, you're so stupid. Like, why you can't do it? You know, those kind of those self-sabotaging words and talk that we have. And sometimes we even do it in just jest. Like, you know, I'm crazy. Like, you know, like even with my I was just saying to my husband, like we tease about our youngest. He's 10 and he has superpowers. So he can be wild. And we sometimes say, you know, this kid is crazy. And I said, let's change it to he's amazing. So anytime that he's doing something that is off the chart, it's amazing, you know. And just watching the words that we use within ourselves because words have power. So once I started loving myself differently, I started speaking to myself differently, and it showed up.
And I want to say I'm so proud of you too, because from the time I've known you, I remember there was a time where you wouldn't even speak about it. You know what I'm saying? You were like, you'd be questioning yourself. We don't have some conversations offline, and you know, your skills. And I'm telling you from the outside looking in, I'm like, girl, it's somebody need to hear your voice. It's somebody waiting on you. And then it's funny
I
because
appreciate that.
You'll hit me with the same thing. And
like the pot calling the kettle.
Facts. And it's just cool that those times that when you did call me out, like, man, you good, man, you doing your thing. I'm so, it was so empowering to me, just those kind words. And just to say, when you said that, I started saying that to myself, like, you know what, I am good enough. I know enough to get up here and speak about it. You know what I mean? So how important is it to you to even, like, for somebody who doesn't really talk like that, but has a wealth of knowledge, how important is it to get your message out there to the kids, to someone else that's struggling just as same as you?
Hey you guys, it's your lady Tramika, and I know that you are enjoying the episode. But however, why don't you have life insurance? You've been thinking about getting life insurance for how long? You've been putting it off for how long? No worries, I'm gonna get you right. Click on the link below and I am gonna run you and your family a free quote so that you can protect your family, you can protect your assets, you can protect your business and what is of value to you. All right, no GoFundMe needed. I am protected. Click on the link below to get your free quote. Back to the episode.
So I think it's extremely important that we have these conversations, especially in our community. Again, I'm going to keep pushing for my community because what I realize is that the government is not doing anything for us. So we have to do things for ourselves. And when I say ourselves, I don't mean the Bell doing something just for the Bell brand. I'm talking about I'm doing things for your family and your children, and you're doing things for my children. And that's how we get out. This is how we kind of create the world that our Dr. Martin Luther King wanted us to have by us working together, by having these conversations and understanding a lot of things that we went through are trauma responses, are effects of things that we've seen and everyone has gone through. Like my story and my storms are not the same as other people's story and other people's storms, but we've all gone through different storms, hurricanes, and all types of things. But if we come together and have these conversations, how can we be better? How can we use those storms for something different? How can we help our children to navigate? Because when they get storms, because what I realized also is a big part of this is how I show up is I'm teaching my children how to show up. So I can tell you all day, like I can say, don't respond like that, don't talk like that, be better. But if you see mommy and daddy doing it, it's just going out the wayside. So now I'm trying to teach my children something, and then they're going out and they're hanging around your kids. You know what I mean? So now that's spreading that. But if we are doing better, and I have this thing that I say, where you can heal the world within your home. And it just starts by healing yourself, healing your household. And now your household is going out into the world, and now we're healing the world, so that type of thing. So it's extremely important for us to have these conversations, not just on the podcast. I'm talking about on Thanksgiving dinner. I'm talking about, amongst our friends at church. We need to have more of these self-reflecting mindset uplifting, inspirational, high level conversations so that we could just have a better life.
Yeah, and you know that comes with like you just said, walking by example, leading by example. And just to kind of go back to what you were saying earlier about how instead of saying, oh, he's crazy, let's change that to he's amazing. And you know, sometimes I hear people say, oh, he bad or she's bad. No, she just hyper. No,
Mm-hmm.
he's
Mm-hmm.
just hyper. He's a child,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I think that especially, you know, within our community, uh your language is so important.
So
How you talk to others, how you talk to, you know, yourself is so important because people words stick with them, you know.
Ooh.
And if you constantly telling a child that he's bad or she's bad
Shy.
or they're gonna fall into that element. They're gonna believe that, and then they're
Exactly.
going to live that. So we have to speak
Exactly.
life, you know, over our kids. And like you
Speak
say,
life.
in the house, and that's how we truly, you know, change the world that's
The
around.
world.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Change the world starting in your own home.
In your home. Realistically, I can't change anything that's going outside. But what I do know is that I can set an example for my children. And when my children leave their home, they can be a certain kind of example. And then now that's, you know, because everyone doesn't have, we can't assume just because someone looks good or whatever, we don't know what's going on. You know, so I try to tell my children all the time, we don't know, your friends could be, and they may not be telling you something. So always be gracious. Anyone is hungry, we always feed. You know, like it doesn't matter, whatever. You just never know. But it starts from us doing it here, learning here.
So quality over quantity. You know, we talk about quality over quantity, and why is quality over quantity? Why is that it? You know, because you guys got it on your shirt. You wear it on your chest. So
we,
obviously,
we say it with your chest. Say it with your
it with
chest.
your chest.
I think what happens is that we get into a place where we just want a lot of stuff. You know, you want a lot. You want the shiny cars and you want the big houses but when you think about it, you can have that shiny car, but how are you feeling inside that car? How do you feel? You know, you can have how many people have homes and they always say, I feel so alone in my home. You know, so it's not what you have, it's the quality of what you have. And that's something that we had to kind of work through because we're from Harlem. I'm Harlem, New York City, born and raised, okay? And Harlem Nights, I'm gonna be honest, we have a certain kind of flavor where, you know, we don't care what our bank account says. We're gonna be fly. And I'm just being real. Don't kill me in the comments, but if you're from Harlem, then you know what I'm saying. I'm keeping it real right now. So you don't care what your bank account says. You just want to be fly. Now, where's the quality in that? You can look good, you can feel, but do you really feel good? The quality comes in from what really, really matters. You can have one top-notch friend, or you can have 10 lackeys. Which would you prefer? Give me the one over the 10 any day. All I need is the one because I know that one is going to hold me down. I don't need 10 flackies, you know, nipping at my toes. So it's always quality over quantity. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter how much you have, it's the quality of what you have that matters.
Yeah.
For sure.
The Bell brand. The Bell brand is, make sure y'all go get them shirts, man. She definitely, that's one of many, and that brand is awesome. I got a matter of fact.
Thank you.
Give me one, matter of fact.
Absolutely too.
Thank you.
You heard her. So for you, I heard you say you kind of battle with depression and anxiety. How long have you been married?
So I've been married for this year will be our 12th year by the grace of God.
Awesome.
Yes.
The reason I asked you that, I wish Kev was here so I could ask him, but can you tell me how did Kev help you? What did he do that helped you go through that process of getting better and, you know, working through that depression and anxiety?
So this is going to be a real answer, okay? We just real, okay? He did not help, okay? I'm just being real, and I don't say it where he did not help. I think he just did not know. You know what I mean? Like depression is not something where honestly there are a lot of books on it, but it's just the same thing with kids. Everyone depression shows up differently.
Mm.
So he just gave me, I would say that his help was he just gave me my space, but he really didn't understand the depth of the depression because also depression has different faces. So yes, I was shut down. Yes, I would stay in my room. Yes, I would drink, but I'm still getting up going to work. I'm still, cooking dinner. I'm still giving him some loving if he needs it, that type of thing. So I don't think that he fully, it wasn't until more so when we started this journey that he fully kind of understood how dark some of my days was. But for him, it was just like, I'm just going to give you your space until you feel better, that type of thing. So I would say that he gave me my space, but that may not be for everybody. But for me, he gave me my space. And so that's all that he was able to give me what he knew how to give, and that was space. So
And so, because that was actually a really great question. How does your spouse play a part whenever you are going through, these times of depression
right.
and anxiety? And like you say, depression, anxiety has different phases. Like if you're not actually having these conversations and talking,
Exactly.
a person asking them, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling on the inside? Because you could say, oh, I'm good. But once you start asking, those deep questions, then you start to find out a little bit more, information. And the fact that your husband gave you space, do you feel like that helped you more? Like that you were grateful that he gave you that space because you were able to have those intimate conversations, but time with yourself as well. Because one of the things that my grandfather, he told me, he said, you was born alone and you're gonna die alone. So
Mhm.
Harlem?
he went from Harlem. But just having these moments by ourselves, how was that for you?
Right, right. So I'm gonna again, we family, so I'm gonna be real.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy, Mr. Highlight Films. I know you're enjoying this episode, but I just wanted to pause for the calls real quick and let you know that this episode is brought to you by Highlight Films and Photography, the #1 real estate photography company here in Jacksonville, Florida, where we specialize in listing photos, investment photos, 3D virtual tours, aerial photos, and everything real estate content creation related. So if you're a realtor, you're a broker, you're a course creator, or you just need some more content to get you some more clients, hey, this is the place to be. You can check out some of our work at www.ComeJoinTheHighLife.com. Come join the High Life. Now back to this episode.
So I'm gonna again, we family, so I'm gonna be real. Knowing my husband, it was best for our relationship because if you don't know how to navigate with someone, that if you don't understand it and you don't know how to navigate with it, this is why. And I give God praise because in hindsight, as an adult and being grown and lived some, I can look back and say that was the best for us. Because if you don't know how to navigate or assist in that space, the wrong thing could be the wrong thing could be the wrong thing. So God gave him the tool to like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna give you your space. And I'm okay with that because I know my husband, so I wouldn't want him to do anything outside of his wheelhouse that, again, when it comes to depression, it could trigger something else, and him not even realizing that it's triggering something else. And now I'm on him, and now that's causing the issue in our household, in our marriage, and with the kids, and it just trickles down. So to answer your question, I would say based on my relationship and knowing my husband, it was the best thing. It was good for him to give me my space. Yes.
I
Yes,
was gonna
that
say
was good.
too, actually, when you started off like he didn't help me, but actually he did some
He
Jedi
did.
trick
I
on
said that.
you.
Yeah. I
He was
said
like,
that.
I know you, so I'm gonna give you.
Mhm.
I feel like sometimes
Mhm.
we need people to give us space. Sometimes you come over here trying to be the doctor, and you don't really
And
know
you done messed it up.
how you
Mhm.
You kind of diagnose me, and now I feel like you're judging me. Now I'm really finna get the give an opinion, and I ain't asking for your opinion. I just needed some time to myself. Take them kids and go and give me some time. To so actually, shout out to Kev. You did the thing.
Listen, Kevin and I have been together for 20 years. I'm 42. So we started our relationship at 21 this year. So we started our relationship very young. If you think about it, we were in our 20s, 30s, and now we're going into our 40s in a relationship. That's three different relationships, okay? So that is that is three different relationships. I had three different men. He has three different women. So, again, me looking back to who we were during my darkest time, I couldn't see it. I didn't feel good during those moments. But again, like I said, hindsight 2020, it was the best thing because I can't say if it would have been anything different, we would still be here. I don't know. We did go to couples counseling, which was amazing. I tell couples all the time, if you've never done it, it is absolutely amazing. I loved it. He loved it. And prior to couples counseling, he was anti-therapist. And now, yeah, he was like, you don't need a therapist. And I'm like, I'm going to therapy. Okay. I'm going. And then when we went to couples counseling, found the right counselor and he is pro therapy and it was just amazing. So that was good. That was really good.
Patience.
Everything happened for a reason, man. And like,
absolutely,
I'm gonna make you go some stuff. Sometimes you got to go through this yourself, so it builds up your character. It give you some empathy because once now you can go speak to someone going through it, and you're gonna be like, okay, let me tell you what to do. No, I'm gonna show you what I did. Like I remember I was asking you earlier, how should I introduce you? And you were like, boy, I'm an example. I'm just gonna show
that's
you what I'm doing. I don't.
That's it.
No motivational speaker.
Title.
Like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I struggle with this. I did this, and it helped me. Like you just gave me you just gave us a good tip. Couples therapy. Like I'm anti.
Oh, it's so good. Oh no, it's so good. Oh my gosh. When I say now, if I can be real, again, y'all family. So I remember.
Hey guys, it's your lady Tramika, and I know that you are enjoying the episode right now. But however, if you are not a part of the community, How You're Learning High Life Book Club, make sure that you go and join the community. It's a community where we get together every single day, Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock noon, and we read, y'all. We read books that's gonna take us to the next level in our journey. So join the community. Facebook, it's a private group, all right? How You Learning High Life Book Club. And I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Back to the episode.
A quick story. It was nobody but God. It was a white young woman who was never married. And I remember I'm Googling because it was like, they have these therapy programs and you just get paired with someone. So I'm like, oh gosh, for me, I've been in therapy. I just wanted to make sure that the person was right for Kevin. And I saw it was a young white woman, never married. So instantly I'm like, what can she teach me? Like, what can she tell me? She doesn't know. I was on the phone with my girlfriend the night before. So she was like, listen, you already have the appointment, just go. When I say this woman changed our marriage, this young lady, and she was younger than us, never married, she changed our marriage. And it wasn't so much, it was just, you don't think of certain things. When you're in it, and things are going, you don't think of certain things. So just to have that outsider, and she checked me, and I'm in there and I'm thinking like, all right, when we get here, he's about to, yes, I got somebody on my side. All right, now, ready. She was like, excuse me. I was like, hold on, we're not here for me. Like, this is a couple thing, but I'm not here. Fix him. She fixed me, and that was the best thing. And I tell every couple at least one time, go. It's so important. It's really good. It saved our marriage. It did.
Yeah, and that was actually going to be my next question, but you already answered it. For people that are anti-therapists, feel like that they don't need counseling, feel like that they don't need to talk to a therapy.
Myron, wait, I think, who was it? I want to say it was Myron Golden who said, if you are Black and don't think you're crazy, you crazy. It was something like that that was said.
Always,
So, you know,
right? I ain't crazy.
so right, you're crazy, right? So, I think what happens is that you are like, I've been in therapy for so many years, so the negative connotation over therapy has definitely like it's diluted in my world. But I say it like, think of it like a dentist. You know, when you can brush your teeth every day, you floss every day. But when you go to a dentist, they're doing a deep cleaning. And that's what a therapist is. You know, like you can check up every day. You can read your books every day. You can watch a podcast every day. But a therapist and a really, really good therapist is gonna get in those crevices that you clean that crevice, but it's still some dirt there, you know, and we don't understand how sometimes those little piles of dirt can turn into huge, other things that you didn't even realize. Like like I said, when she had fixed me, I'll just say I had an issue with control. I'm still sometimes struggle with that or challenge with that. But my thing is, if I say something, if I give you clues, I don't want to have to tell you. I've given you the clues. And she was like, if you just tell him and he does it, why is it a problem? And that was a click for me. And I had to go back to, why don't I want to tell you? Where is that coming from? And then I realized that came from my childhood. Like things like that. You don't even realize how certain things show up in certain ways because you just passed it or put it to the side. So I think that everyone, I say every age, even children, can do well with therapy. I think it's great.
Yeah, I need a therapist.
I do too.
I guess that include me too, because
And I mean, have you ever gone to therapy?
Have I ever gone to therapy?
Yes.
I have not actually. I mean,
Okay, you?
actually, it was a long time ago. I had to be in like middle school when
Okay.
you have guidance counselors, and she was
Yes.
my therapist in a way, but actual therapy in an adult world, no, I have not.
I
No.
would kind of I have a life coach, mindset coach,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Claudia. We
Mm-hmm.
she told me down. She brought me back.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff like dealing with the loss of my daughter, dealing with the loss of my ex-wife. She really like broke me down, and then she cleared out a lot. Like you said, we tend to, we say we out here in these streets, we strong, we confident,
We good.
leaders, and we holding something right in our face, you know what I mean? And we just trying to look past and
Yeah.
on that good face and saying we got it all under control. But when you, like you said, when you sit down with somebody and they get in them crevices, and then them crevices you start crying, you be like, I just didn't know.
Like Anthony Anderson on Blackish, you know what I mean? Where he's like curled up.
In the fetal position.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so now, and that's the thing where therapy doesn't necessarily have to be a therapist, but it's just like the work. But I always promote a therapist because sometimes we think our best friends, our auntie and them, and our cousins can, those are the our usual go-to. But you need someone, like you said, like a mindset coach or a life coach, someone that can really like get deep into it, knowing how to speak to you. Because that's also, I'm gonna be honest, I hate finding therapists because it's not the most warm and fuzzy feeling, because sometimes you have to go to through different people that know how to speak to you, understand your, like just know how to connect with you, that type of thing. So it's not always easy, but it's extremely important to find that person that is able to tap into those places that you want to keep hidden. Because until you tap into those, and not everything can be healed, but just knowing how better ways to navigate through them, and the therapist can help with that.
Yeah, because I would say when you met with your mind coach, and we actually have a meeting with her. So I'm super excited.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
Changed a lot.
Yeah.
I can see like
I usually couldn't even have a conversation about my daughter without crying. And now
Wow.
I can talk to someone now, and I kind of get happy now. it's kind
That's
of
a blessing.
not a blockage for me no more. You know what I'm saying? And it's
That's a blessing.
definitely, so I can say I agree. I never looked at her like a therapist. I think it's just the title we put on
The
it.
title.
I don't need no therapist.
No, you do. No, you do.
I feel like
Yeah.
we all need motivation.
Yes.
To go segue a little bit away from that, I just want to ask you, how important is your environment, like being around the right people, having the right mentor, different stuff like that to your
Cutting people off.
Ooh, child, speak on it.
Listen, I am now I am adult enough to understand that everybody can't go with you, and that is okay. It is what it is. My vision is so much bigger than where I am today that I have to accept that everyone can't come with me. And I'm okay with that. But the environment is the most I as an adult did not really realize that. My mother used to always talk about, oh, your friends matter. And I'm like, oh, they're just cool. It doesn't matter. And now I understand the quality. Here we go back to the quality. The quality of the people that you have around it changes your life. It changes your life. From the moment that we moved to Maryland, our mindset just changed, and we have great friends and a great support system and great people in New York City. But New York City again, it's like a lot of people that's renting. I only had one friend at the time that bought a house, had her house. So it's like a lot of renting. Not really. You have a few people that's doing entrepreneurship, but not like this is what I do only, that type of thing. So once we got out here, we're seeing everyone owns a home, for the most part. You have entrepreneurs that are like, this is their business. This is all they do. My brother-in-law, he's actually being honored today by the President of the United States. Yes. He is receiving a lifetime achievement award awarded by the White House. Unfortunately, it's snowing, so I don't know if we're going to be able to make it. But just being in, just having someone like that, in our circle, it opens your eyes to so much more. So the quality of the people that you have around you can change your world. It can. I saw a video on Instagram, and a young man had said, the thing that changed my life was everyone always said it took time to be rich. He said, what I learned was it doesn't take time, it takes who you know. He said, you can get someone that can give you a 10-year run in 1 year if you meet the right person. So it's really just, again, it goes to the quality of who you have around. So your environment is so important. You can't grow. In the wrong environment, you just cannot grow. So being in the right environment with the right people, only way that you can grow and thrive. That's so important. Why I'm in the morning meetup.
Big fact. And also, once you see something, you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it.
When you
can't unsee it.
I'm just be talking, when you're stuck in the hood and that's all you see is the violence.
That's all you see.
People being petty, people worried about what she say, and just worried about being the coolest thing out. Like, if that's all you see, you ain't gonna know. But as soon as I like taking my kids to the beach out here in Florida, in Jacksonville, where that's pretty much where all the rich people, I call it all the rich people stay at. You know what I mean? The big houses on the beach with the view. And every time we go out there, there's a beach that's close, but then there's a beach that's a little bit further. I like taking to the further beach so that we can pass by all these big houses and they look like, oh, that's my house. You know what I mean? You can't unsee it. So now you have something more after. So I definitely agree that if you don't have the right environment, you can't grow. But as soon as you see it, boy, it's like you're gonna have ideas.
A life just instantly. And it's funny because my husband is the dreamer out of the relationship. So he played, he went Division I basketball. So, he know a lot of people. So his ex actually one of his ex-girlfriends lived in a mansion. So like he's in high school dating somebody who lives literally in a mansion. You know what I mean? So like his mind has always been very big. And for me, I'm just like, he had dreams of being in the NBA. His brother was drafted, the Nuggets. He was drafted by the Nuggets. And So he's seen these things. He had people touch this world. So for him, there's nothing that cannot be achieved. So sometimes when he used to talk, when we were in New York, I'm like, well, okay, I was small-minded. And now I'm like, oh, you were right. Okay, that type of thing. So he had to help me with that because I didn't see that. I didn't have an ex that lived in a mansion. I never, so I didn't know, but he had that mindset. And once you see it, like you said, you can't unsee it. And now you like, okay, I know. Not even not unsee it, like I know I can do it. So
that is amazing.
Once you see it.
That is amazing. I mean, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And the fact that you said that your husband, he is the dreamer, he's the visionary. Yeah. And now, you are the support.
Great support.
Actually. The support that you are providing him. You're managing, the things that he have going on. We the women, so we're more detail oriented. We can guide our spouse in a way, if they have we have everything else to that it operates.
We have the source. Right.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Exactly. So I love that. I mean, this has been a great conversation. Yeah, we talked about, some of the things that you can do to overcome depression, auditing, your environment, auditing the people that is around you, because that's going to be essential to you growing. Mm-hmm. As you know, High Life stands for hustler, innovator, gifted, and honorable. We high on love, we're high on impact, we're high on faith, and we are high on energy. Out of those acronyms, which one resonates most with you?
Love. Love. Absolutely love. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said, we focus so much on the war, but the love is what we need to focus on to drive out, the hate. And it's love. God is love. We are love. You can fix it with love. Just love, love, love. More love. That's what we need. More love.
Love, y'all. More love. So make sure that you like and subscribe to the podcast.
Love this podcast. Love the podcast.
Comments below as well.
So also, can you let people know how they can get in contact with you or how they can follow you on social media?
Sure. So I have a lot of things. We have a lot of things going on. So I am so excited. So my Instagram name is My Perfected Imperfections. I know it's long, but if you type in My Perfected, you'll find me. I'm the only one. My name of my podcast is called Perfect Imperfections with Kalia Bell. Again, if you search my name, you'll find it KaliaBell. And check out our hoodies. This is not on the site just yet, but we are definitely putting it up there by the end of this month, beginning for Black History Month. We have some great things coming, and I'm excited about that. So check us out at www.thebellbrand.net. Again, it's www.thebellbrand.net. And I'm just so excited. So tap in. Make sure that you tap in.
Yeah. And I'm waiting on my invite to come on the podcast. I'm just saying.
Yes. Yes. I mean, this has opened the door because I have been using my husband as a crutch and just using his business as something to keep me busy. But having this conversation, we need to have more of these conversations. So I know that I'm being disobedient, God, I know. So we need to get this, get some more of these conversations going. So I'm definitely going to have you guys join. Yeah. I'm excited.
Before we get out of here, give us one thing that you want the people to take away from this episode that can kind of like help them to grow.
So I know that you have heard this time and time again, but watch the words that you use. When you watch your words, your mind will change. And when your mind will change, your world will change. So just watch the language that you're using. Even if you don't believe the things that you're saying out your mouth, speak life, speak positivity, speak it until you do believe it, but do not use any negative words against you, against your family, against whatever that situation is. It is going to be okay. You speak that it's going to be okay, and it will be well, because we know that all things, not some, but all things work together for our good. So just speak it. Once you speak it, you'll believe it, and you'll see your world change. Trust me, I'm a living example. Trust me.
I know that's right.
With that being said, y'all, we can't end it no better than that. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. And please don't forget to put some respect on your mind. Hey.
That's right.